Auction time. This is the 3C series auction. 3C01. I made this particular blade on video. It was a no talk video, the very last video that I did. Most recent. 6.5 by almost 2 inches. It's made of raw coastal plains chert, translucent. I spent an extra amount of time on it trying to get rid of a lump that was in the concrete here. Now, I probably should have made the blade in another section of the stone, but I actually didn't think that was going to be a problem. Right, there was another section of the original nodule or the original spall that didn't have this concrete. I could have taken the blade from that area, but I didn't. So I went ahead and tried to flatten out that lump as much as I could. I still couldn't get it the way I wanted it, but I just left it because it was quite wide to begin with, and it was about 2 inches longer, or 1.5 inches longer. It started at 8 inches long. The spall was 8 inches long. Anyway, I sharpened it all the way around. It's totally on video. It took me 2.5 hours, but that's because I was dealing with this concrete. Otherwise, it wouldn't have taken me nearly that long. Okay. Yeah, let me weigh it just out of curiosity. $11.62. Grains and not grams. All right. 3C02. This one is raw. Also, it's a raw. Got it written right there. Coastal Plains chert. This one also has similar concrete to the first item. It's the same stuff. Same stuff, different spall. Okay. I'll let you guys reduce this down. I know some of you guys are better at reducing these down than I am. You know, getting rid of these step fractures and stuff. Or you can just use it as is for something. Some of you guys are mounting these as big old tomahawks. Or so I hear. That's the rumor. It's not sharpened all the way around. It's just the biface. Right? It's like a trade blank. That's what I was trying to say. All right. 7 1/4 by 3 5/8. Okay. $3C03. This is an attempt at a type 1 Danish dagger. The type 1s were very thin. This is not very thin in comparison. They were very thin, and they didn't have a thick handle. The handle was just as thin as the blade. All right. And the type 2s, the handle becomes thicker as you go down the handle. So it's most thick right at the base, and it tapers continuously all the way to the tip. That's a type 2. But this is a type 1. It's just thin all the way down. Characteristic outline. Now the handle area does have a little bit of grinding on it, a little bit of a braiding. It's like 3 3/4. The actual blade itself is 3 7/8. The total is 7 5/8. And the maximum width is almost 2 inches. Okay, it feels pretty comfortable in my hand anyway. I've got small hands. Everything in the auction looks bigger because my hands are small. Okay. So yeah, this is on video. I did refine the edges. I forgot to mention. I went this morning and around noon, I guess, I refined these edges to be more regular. so it doesn't have that big dip in the edge there that it used to have. I made everything just look more smooth around the outside, more regular. Okay, so I did refine it somewhat off camera, but just on the edges. I didn't remove any thinning flakes, I don't think. Yeah, it's still the original. I did not remove any thinning flakes. The only thing I did was I chipped the edges a little bit more. Okay, just to make it look a little bit better. 3C04, again, Coastal Plains chert. This one is a heat treat. The other ones, the 3 previous ones, are raw. This is a heat treat, translucent. I really like this material. It's in my top 5 of materials to work. Okay, especially as a heat treat. I like it as a heat treat. But big blades out of heat treat are difficult. Smaller blades like this are not that difficult. 3 inches long, inch and 1/8, or inch and 1/16. .192 grains. So this could be an arrow point or an atlatl dart point. Either one. Okay. All right. Next item, I got a box of heat treat, Coastal Plains heat treat, 3C05. Small flat rate box of Coastal Plains heat treat. It's all heated to 375. Okay, and these are the best pieces in this particular batch that I have. All right, the largest and flattest. There are a couple that are larger than these, but they're not flat. They're wonky or clunky pieces with cortex and concrete. I tried to limit the amount of bad areas and limit, don't include flakes that have lots of curvature. Some of these are slightly curved, of course. Can't avoid that. I tried giving you the best ones. Okay, so these are all heat treats. It naps almost the same because the heat is not that hot. It's only heated to 375, right? I could have gone up to 475, I think. It's recommended that I don't go higher than 400, so. But I'm going to try a batch of this Coastal Plains at a higher heat, see what happens. Not this big, but and I'll let you know. But in this case, these are all 375, which I consider light heat. Anything under 400 is light heat, which naps very well. Okay. All right. 3C06. This is a lighter colored chert. It's a Medina County chert. It's heat treated. And these are bifaces and big spalls. I got 2 big spalls here. Well, I started to biface this down, and then I encountered that little mishap, and then I overshot it. I don't know where the overshot flake went, or I would have included it. Anyway, these are heat treat. I think it's 450 degrees. Let me just see here. Yeah, this is all heat treat to 450. Yeah. I've got some more boxes. They're all heat treat. As far as this material goes, this lighter chert is all heat treat to 450. And a couple of pieces might be heat treated up to 500. I mixed them together, so some of them might be at 500. Anyway, that's a biface. So it's a box of bifaces and spalls of this particular type of chert. It's all the same type of chert. Okay, it's not glossy. It's kind of brittle, kind of rough. It does get slightly waxy. but it's not really grainy. It can be made into very intricate points. Okay. .3C07 box of Brokes and Bifaces. Let's see. I broke this one off camera. I broke this one off camera. This is heat treat, Medina County chert. I broke this off camera. I don't know where that piece went. And I broke this one off camera, I think. All heat treats. This is heat treat as well. These are Brokes. Let me see, do I have the other piece? I don't have the other piece to this, but this is 375. All of these coastal plains pieces are 375 degrees. These others are 450 to 500. Okay. I did this one on video, or I started doing it on video. This particular bit of concrete is not as bad as the one in the first item. It's not as bad as the ones in this blade. But it's similar. It's very similar. I actually did this biface on video, but today around noon I started cleaning up some of these items for the auction, and I broke this one. I was getting it set up for taking a flake to remove this lump, and I broke it. Might have already had an existing crack, I don't know. Anyway, very disappointed that I broke that one. All right, and then there's 3 more pieces of that coastal plains heat treat. Okay. Yeah, I might have a little bit of room left in the box. If I do, I'll add some more pieces of Brokes and little bifaces of the same material. Okay. .3C08. This one is also that Medina County chert, but these are bigger. These are a couple bigger flakes and small flakes. So this is a range of flakes, and this is all heat treat. 450 to 500. So the flakes range from, you know, this size to this size. 5 1/4, 5 1/8, 4 1/2. That's the biggest piece. I think this one's the smallest, 1 1/2 by 2. Yeah, all different sizes of flakes. I try to make sure they don't have any cracks or concrete. That might be interesting. It has some of the cortex in it. The only time I include cortex is if it might be interesting, an interesting color. Otherwise, cortex is not all that great. This one might have, yeah, it does have a crack in it here. So if I find a better piece than this, I'll just replace it. I gotta make a note. I know I can see the crack, but let's just put that aside. I'll replace it with a better piece, because that's not fair to give you that. You never know where that crack's going to go. All right. That looks all right. Just various pieces. I have a lot of this stuff. That's why I keep offering it. I like working it, but I got lots of it. Last but not least, 3C09. This is a box of darker heat treat. This is all heated to 345, which is a low heat. Okay, this is lower than the coastal plains. And it gets really glossy even at 345. This darker chert. This is all Texas chert. I tested it this morning. It's the first thing I did this morning before I had to run a bunch of errands. Started testing these, and yeah, that may have a crack through there. Let's see. Two and 3/4 to that potential crack in there. I didn't notice that earlier. All right, so yeah, these are all darker chert heat treats. They only require a low heat. This is actually an amoeba chert. Some of these are root beerish. Some of these, like this one's not very translucent. Some of these are more translucent. Yeah, like this one. See how glossy that got? And it's just low heat. Some of these get kind of waxy, but not really, really glossy. But they still nap well. Yep, all these pieces will nap well. I just got to make sure I don't include pieces with cracks or too much curvature. That was kind of curved. So let's see. I got two in here that are a little bit iffy. Where is it? Yeah, that one there. Let's see. I'm going to keep those to the side, see if I can find some better pieces. I don't have much of this stuff. I'm offering it because it's been sitting in my yard forever. Haven't gotten around to napping it. But I like napping this stuff a lot. All right. Okay, so that's it for that. I just put a mark on these. I'm gonna look for replacements for those. Okay. Okay, rules. These are just my cheat notes. The full rules are in the description box. Okay, please bid in the comments section under one of my pre-populated comments showing the item number and a timestamp where the item appears in the video. I will like your comment or your bid if I see it. That's important. Make sure that I like it. If I haven't liked it after a while, that means I haven't seen it, so just send me an email. Email is jackcrafty2@gmail.com. Don't ask me to DM you. As far as I know, YouTube does not have DMs. Now, I'm using my phone. I might not be able to DM on my phone. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't send DMs on YouTube, and no one can, for that matter, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any DMs on YouTube. Okay. The auction ends at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, or 6 Pacific. Try not to bid at the last minute. I'm using YouTube's time tracker of the comments. It's not always accurate. Yeah, it's off by about 2 minutes sometimes. So just be aware of that. Shipping is free in the U.S. International shipping is not free. If you win the bid and you're an international bidder, I will add $20 for a first class package. I'll add $30 for a small flat rate box. I think I'm going to add like $50 for a large flat rate box. But I'll get with you on that one. I'm not sure. That's why I didn't write it down. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the international rates. The international rates for first class package are more than $20. I think it's up to $28 now. And for a small flat rate box, I think it's $40. But, I do give you a slight discount, but I do have to charge you some because it's quite a bit of money to ship internationally. All right. I will provide tracking numbers. I accept PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, check, or money order. I can also send you an invoice that you can pay by card. All right. Winners will be announced starting at 9:01 p.m. Eastern. I will reply to the winning bid with sold, the item number, and the price. And please email me your name, address, etc. to jackcrafty2@gmail.com. This is very important. If you're new, you need to email me if you won. I'm not going to send you a notice because I can't. I don't have your email. I can send you a notice in the comments section, but you got to pay attention to the comments. Just be aware that most guys will pick up how to do the auction stuff from the previous auction. So just look at the previous auctions and I know how to do it. It's pretty easy to figure out from looking at the previous auction videos and all the comments. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, there's more of a complete description in the rules in the description box below. If you have questions, just email me. Or you can comment in the comment section, whichever. Okay? I think that's it. Hope everyone had a good weekend, and good luck.